Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Shadow bringing you guys another video. This time I'm playing Blackbeard at locals again, trying to get myself some more practice before OP10. You do see here I'm facing a Luffy. Day 1, Dice Roll chose to go first, which great for them. That's exactly what I don't want to do. Typically, I want to take their first curve. They play out the law and search out a 6-cost Sanji, which is just a 2k. I start my turn off with just establishing a dot Q and do not use leader ability and just pass turn. They swing 5 at me, I'll take it. I'm going to take the first couple hits just because typically I'm used to being starved, so I'll take whatever I can get. And you do see he plays out a Zoro after he uses his leader ability to search for a straw hat, and he grabs Luffy Taro. So next turn he's going to be at 6 down, so now I know I'm going to have to start pitching. I always start pitching for my leader ability when he is going to go to Luffy Taro turn. So I poke for 5, hoping to at least get some type of counter from hand. If he takes a life, that's fine with me as well. But taking a 1k from his hand, I do play out a black hole. It like fell out of my hand as you saw there, but black hole will knock the Zoro, and I'm contemplating on what to pitch because next turn, as I said, he will be able to do Luffy Taro if he uses his leader ability again. I do pitch the stronger. Typically, I like to hold on to the strongers just in case I need another -2 reduction. But I believe I have Laboons in my hand, so wasn't too worried. And you do see here, I do see this is my era with having a 10 drop, another black hole, and a black hole. So 2 black holes, all I know is that those are my last 2 in the deck. So I decided to grab one of them over the 10 drop. And you do see here, he does do Luffy Taro. So lucky for me that my arrow did trigger off because I had nothing else to really do anything with. You see I have no Laffites, no stages, so I'll take whatever search I can get. I do start to turn off with using dot Q on the law, and I establish Burgess and a Vasco shot after I swing 5 of my leader to his leader, just taking a 1k from hand. But at this point, we are no longer going to allow him to use his on-play abilities because pretty much everything that Luffy plays is on-play, like the Luffy Taro, Big Mom, the 9-drop Rush Secret Luffy from 09. So pretty much every turn gonna pitch for ability, and this is where the Laffites would come in so much handy, but unfortunately, as you see, I'm not finding any. So he swings 8 at my life. I decide to take it. And here he decides to swing 5 at dot Q, which is fine. You can take that. I'll take a draw. Unfortunately, I was unable to find like a Laboon. I thought I had Laboons, but it looks like I didn't. So unfortunate. And you do see he plays out the 9-drop Luffy, which is what I expected him to do, which is why we are starting to pitch for ability. So I do pitch Black Hole for leader ability to at least get Burgess up to 7k, and I swing 5 of his leader, and he gives me another 1k. And we're pitching the Black Hole because at this point, Luffy is just going to start playing out 9-drop bodies consistently each turn. There's a chance he could decide to go wide, but pretty much I could expect another big body next turn. So I establish a second Burgess, and I'm contemplating whether to do a third Burgess, to be honest with you. But I don't think I can take that much pressure as far as 3 big swings. I do have 1 Vasco shot on the field. But I am going to contemplate actually playing out a second Vasco shot and attaching 2 Don onto Burgess to at least swing 9k onto Luffy Taro. We do know he has a 2k Sanji, and at this point it would just be attempting to dwindle his hand. We could always pressure his life because it's going to require him to give me 2 cards from his hand, a 2k and a 1k. But I'm going to attempt to at least try to clear board. So he does give me that 2k Sanji that he had, and I establish a second Vasco shot. If both Vasco shots can live through this turn, we are in a really good position because I do have a 10 drop in my hand. And then having Vascos with the 10 drop is usually perfect. The swings that go over the 10 drop, Vasco can usually take. Unfortunate for me, I believe both might end up leaving this turn, but I need to protect the Burgess no matter what. And currently it's only sitting at a 7k, so he does swing 10 at the Burgess. I give him the first Vasco shot, and I believe here you might swing 2 or 8k at it, which is just a 2k for me. Which you, oh yeah, so you do see I give him 2 1ks, so very unfortunate that I don't have any 2ks. Dwindling my hand that much is not exactly what I want to do, and I do want to hold on to this other Vasco shot. So at this point you kind of see him thinking about exactly what to do, whether to swing big with his leader to the Burgess, and honestly a good thing to have done here would have probably just been going wide. So he does go 8 to Burgess, and it shows you I don't have another 2k whatsoever. But he establishes a Sangoro and leaves 2 down up, which can typically signify that he has a 10 drop Gum Giants. So kind of hoping that he doesn't have it. A lot of times it could be bluffing, which you have seen in a previous video. I've lost to a bluff like that. So I do play the 10 drop. I do choose the Rush Luffy for that just because it's a 10k swing. So I don't want that to go swinging next turn. And with the 2 Vascos and another card in the trash, I am now have Burgesses at 8k, which is good. So I swing 5, he gives me a 2k. I swing 8 at life, and I believe I'm going to swing another 8 at life. At this point, I'm just pressuring his life. Maybe I should have did that the previous turn when Burgess is at 7k instead of swinging at Luffy Taro. But I'm pretty much on a clock here. And you do see I pitch a 10 drop. So him seeing me pitch 10 drop kind of made him assume that I had another 10 drop in my hand. But I pitched that just so I can hold on to a 2k counter. I knew I needed these Burgess to stick at least one more turn. And I will be able to do that with a block and potentially a 2k depending on how he swings here. He only has 3 swings, so potentially only 1 goes through. So you see he swings exactly 8 with the Luffy Taro. I give him a 2k and he was not expecting that. He was expecting it to be a brick, which is another 10 drop. So at this point, it kind of skews his entire plan. And he's deciding what to do. So I remind him that they are 8s. So I do tell him that he is swinging for 7. It looks like so. Oh, no. He swung for exactly 8 again. I forget. Sangoro is a 6k. So I do give him the block there with the 10 drop. And you see here, he establishes a Onami and forgets that there's no on plays. You see he tries to pitch a 9 drop. I'm trying to find a Gum Giant or some more counter. Had to remind him. So very good thing that I was able to, negate the on plays, or else he would have potentially found the counter that he needs. He does swing 8s at the Burgess and then pass his turn. At this point, I have to go lethal. I am not going to survive another turn, especially with just 1 card in hand. So I do pitch the last card to get Burgess up to 9k. And I have 3 swings to be able to connect 2 times. I do have to get his last life. And he has 1 down up, basically bluffing that he has Gum Giant. So I'm going to swing 3. Not 3. I'm going to swing 11k with the Burgess to see if it can go through. Obviously, we know he has the blocker. But I believe he's going to take it to see if a Gum Giant is in his life, because that can basically change the game for him. And you do see I do swing 11. Here he's contemplating whether or not to just give me the blocker or gamble on his life. The block would have probably been the most ideal thing here, but regardless of the fact whether he takes the block now or later, if he has Giant, that's what's going to change the game. He's going to take the life and does not see a Giant, and I'm going to just swing 11k with leader, and he sees what's going to swing is going to come next and just concedes. But as always, if you guys like the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment down below what you guys thought, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.